Welcome to another edition of the Cody's MMA Uncensored. I'm the Cody. You already know that. Thank you. Just want everyone to know, quick side note. I know everyone's asking about part 2 of last episode. I couldn't get it uploaded. My computer's gay. Sorry about that. But it's uploaded now. So go down there. That way. No. That way. Okay. Good job. Alright. And you will find it. Watch it. Like I promised, I talked about everyone's rematch they wanted to see, blah blah blah. My girlfriend made a brief appearance, so go down, check that out, view it, comment on it. Good. Alright, now but let's get to today's episode. We're going to talk about the upcoming UFC 133. We're going to talk about this past Saturday's Strikeforce, and Strikeforce is going to be a little interesting. I'll tell you why later. And the Cody's MMA question of the week, and of course the Cody's Corner. So let's get right to it right now.
Hey Jill, you know them old sugar daddy. They be tricking, they tell them girls, I said you can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, sex on deck, Patron on ice, and we can pop bottles all night. Baby, you can have whatever you like.
Alright, so first topic of today's episode is Strikeforce, Fedor versus Henderson. Didn't go the way I wanted to. Talking about the main event. We'll get to the main event later. That one's going to be interesting because no one has agreed with my opinion of how the main event went. And I mean no one. And I've talked about 7, 8 people about it. No one has agreed with it. But I'm still going to give what I think about it. And y'all can do what y'all do, And unfortunately, I had a brief, very small, not that big emergency, so I missed the Tyron Woodley-Paul Daly fight. I couldn't find it on the internet, so I can't really break that down for you because I don't know what happened. I just know Tyron Woodley won. I'll give a little talk about what his win means, blah blah blah. But anyway, let's start with Robbie Lawler versus Tim Kennedy. Okay, Tim Kennedy, not well known, To be honest, the first time I ever saw him fight was when he fought for the title against Jacare Souza. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Jacare's been my boy for a while, and, he has this thing that he thinks he beat Jacare. I disagree. He did not, but, every fighter with a close decision will always think they won the fight, That's just how their ego goes. That's just whatever. But after this past Saturday, I'm kind of a Tim Kennedy fan. Not because of his fight in general, which was not that impressive, no offense, but just because of what he said after the fight. I mean, I thought it was funny how he says, hey judges, I don't like y'all. I thought it was funny. Because no one likes the judges, and he's the first person to actually say it. So, he left it to the judges this time, still, again, but he was able to beat Robbie Lawler pretty definitively, just like I predicted. Check out the episode part 2 below. I did talk about that. I did say Tim Kennedy would win. So, Robbie Lawler is just on the downside, and, he needs to retire, or he needs to just fight these chumps to get his name back out there. He's just a name from now on. That is all Robbie Lawler is. He's not... he's not going to fight for a title. He's not going to go to the UFC. Well, then again, Paul Buentello went to the UFC, and, that's like sending a donkey to a tiger fight, So, anyway, but, Robbie Lawler is just a name now. He's just a name to fill out a card. He's on the downslope. I would like to see him get a win from someone who sucks. Maybe Robbie Lawler should think about going back down to welterweight. He fought at welterweight before, but he decided to bulk up. Maybe he should give that a shot. Maybe that's where he needs to be. It wasn't that Tim Kennedy was bigger than him. It was just that he just doesn't have the skill set to be the grappler. I mean, well, then again, he got outstruck by Renato Babalusa Brawl, outstruck by, why do I always forget that dude's name? Melvin Manhoff, thank you. God, man. He hasn't fought in such a while. I haven't heard about him in a long time. I forgot his name. But Melvin Manhoff, even though he won that fight, but he still got struck by him. So, I don't know. Robbie Lawler, like I said, he's just a name. He's going to be put out there. Good win for Tim Kennedy. I don't agree that they should give him the winner of Jacare Souza, Luke Rockhold, but, you know, who else are they going to give him, really? I mean, okay. Now, let's talk about, before we get into the main event. Oh, wait, there was another fight, wasn't there? Oh, sorry, I forgot. Oh, yeah, Miesha Tate, Marloes Coenen. Okay. I've been saying Marloes Coenen has been the luckiest fighter in the world. Ever since she lost pretty definitively to Cyborg Santos, she's been getting her ass whooped, getting submissions later in the fight. Ass whoop, submission. Ass whoop, you know, luckiest fighter ever. Then, you know, she had talk about fair play. She showed a bit of luck in this fight. I mean, you know, again, not a lot of people have agreed with me on my outtake of this whole fight card, but, you know, in the, I believe it was the second round, Miesha Tate tries to get a takedown, makes a mistake, and then all of a sudden, Marloes Coenen lands on her back. So I was like, God, this lady has to be lucky. And I thought it was over. You know, Marloes Coenen, great submission fighter. I thought, bam, that another luck strikes again. And I thought we were going to see her get her ass whooped and submit Sarah Kaufman again. So, but Miesha Tate turning around in the third round, was able to get takedown and takedown and takedown, and finally, you know, I believe it was the fourth round. Was it the fourth round? I didn't pay attention to, okay, I didn't pay attention to the whole fight. I paid attention to most of it, but I was also kind of watching the X Games. Give me a break, you know. X Games come around, you know, once a year for 4 days, and the Cody likes the X Games, so he's kind of paying attention to both things. So, but I believe it was the fourth round. She was able to get that submission. Really, really great submission. That was awesome. What was the submission again? Oh yeah, side choke. Okay. I'm getting old. I'm just forgetting stuff. I mean, that's how entertained I was by this damn fight card. Okay, I'm forgetting everything about Strikeforce. Strikeforce just annoys me. UFC I can remember like that, but like I forgot who Daniel Cormier fought before, you know, he got into the Strikeforce Grand Prix. It was Jeff Monson. I figured it out eventually. So anyway, but great great win from Miesha Tate. She's going to take on Sarah Kaufman. Sarah Kaufman will probably beat her again. Whatever. At least we don't have to hear Marloes Coenen's name for a while. So, yeah, great job, great job. Okay, now the main event. Okay, finally. Oh, I've been spending 6 minutes on this damn thing. Okay, I just wanted to talk about this for a minute and just move on. Okay, so Fedor versus Dan Henderson. Okay. If you check out the episode below, the one that no one saw because I couldn't upload it, I said Dan Henderson was supposed to be the stepping stone for Fedor Emelianenko to get back on the winning track. I thought that's all that Dan Henderson was put in there for. I did not believe for a second Dan Henderson would win. Then, you know, Fedor did something I didn't expect Fedor to do. He Brock Lesnar the fucking fight. He did what Brock Lesnar did with Cain Velasquez. He came out there brawling and got into the short end of the stick. I didn't know what the hell Fedor was thinking. When that fight started, I was like, this is going to end bad. Fedor is swinging away with probably, in my opinion, one of the hardest punchers in MMA. I mean, that dude can knock out anybody. Dan Henderson has that wicked-ass right hand, and, you know, every time he fights someone with no chin, I always know he's going to knock him out. Just like Rafael Feijão Cavalcanti. No chin, bam, knockout. Okay, so, yeah, that's how it goes. But I was like, what was Fedor doing? Fedor should have got that fight to the ground, like I thought. Wrestler or no wrestler, I don't give a shit. Get it to the ground and submit Dan Henderson's ass. That's what should have happened. But Fedor wanted to rock'em sock'em robots him, and we saw what happened. Now, granted, he did catch him. He did put him up against the fence. He had him. But then, now this is the part that everyone disagrees with me about. Dan Henderson got that damn lucky punch. That's right, motherfuckers, I said damn lucky punch. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I'm going to say it again. Lucky, lucky. And one more time. Lucky, lucky. Okay. Lucky. Okay, so Dan Henderson got that punch that I call luck. People call awesome, but I called luck. And knocked out Fedor. Now, granted, everyone's like, bad stoppage, bad stoppage. I don't agree with that, but this is also my opinion. I could see John McCarthy letting that fight go on. You know, John McCarthy knows Fedor. You know, Fedor knows John. I don't know why that mattered. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, back to what I was saying. John McCarthy probably would have let that fight go on. I think John McCarthy would have easily gave Fedor a chance, where Herb Dean did not. Maybe Herb Dean cares more about the fighters than John McCarthy does. I don't know, but just, yeah. I don't think it was a bad stoppage. I think it was a good stoppage. You know, he hit that ground really, really hard, really flat, but he recovered immediately, and you know, what can you say? But now I want to tell you why I think this was a lucky punch. Fedor had his ass, like this. He was bending over, showing it to him when Dan Henderson landed that punch. Now you tell me this, okay? How many damn times have you seen someone bend over like doggy style and get knocked out? Okay, never. You never seen that. That doesn't happen. I mean, how in the world could you not call? Fedor is over here, Dan Henderson's over here, he throws a punch. You really think Dan Henderson expected that to knock him out? Maybe stun him, put him in a bad situation, but knock him out? That was luck. Luck. You can't, in the real world, you're not going to knock someone out like that unless they have a glass jaw like James Thompson or Andrei Arlovski. Fedor Emelianenko does not have a glass jaw. Fedor Emelianenko can take hits. He took them from Andre. He took them from Antonio Silva. He took them from Brett Rogers. He can take a hit. Dan Henderson's a freaking 207-pound guy. Throws a punch that pretty much went under his armpit. He doggy style, yeah, like that. He was like, "How you doing?" You know, and he knocks him out. But that's just how I just call it lucky. I don't care. I don't care. This is the Cody. This is the Cody's MMA Uncensored. That's how it is. Lucky punch. I will say it 100 more times. Lucky, 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 lucky. That's how it goes. Okay. Now, anyway. Okay. Moving on. Anyway, so where do they go from here? Should Fedor retire? No. Fedor shouldn't. I think Fedor is young enough. He should keep fighting as long as he doesn't keep getting knocked out. He should keep fighting and ride off into the sunset. He should fight and win. You know, if I was a fighter and I was up there in age a little bit, I would want my last fight to be a win. That's just how I am. That's probably why Chuck Liddell kept fighting. That's probably why Randy Couture keeps fighting. Or kept fighting, that's right, he retired after the Karate Kid kick, you know. So, yeah. Don't think Fedor will retire. Where does Dan Henderson go from here? Dan Henderson fought in the heavyweight division. He's the light heavyweight champ, so he should fight at light heavyweight. So, I don't know. People are talking about they think Dan Henderson should jump over to the UFC and, you know, fight John Jones. And I'm like, what? He knocked out a guy as great as he is, as a legend as he is, that was on the downside. That's lost twice in a row, and now 3 in a row. He's not going to go in there and win against John Jones. What are people thinking? And yes, people have been saying it. I've been in the MMA forums. People are like, go fight John Jones. He'll probably win. No. Okay. So, anyway. You know, you know, I hate to say it. I hate that Fedor lost. I thought Fedor would walk in there, submit him, you know, job well done, Fedor's back, blah, 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 but that didn't happen. Damn, I've been talking about this for... Okay, final note. I want to see Fedor fight... Damn, I just had it. Fedor should fight again, and he should... I think personally he should go to the UFC, but that won't happen. He signed a big contract with Strikeforce, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Dana White said he will honor Strikeforce contract. So, if I had to pick, I would like to see a fight between... I want to see Fedor fight one of the losers from the upcoming Grand Prix. You know, like a Daniel Cormier, if he were lose. Like, I would love to see the Josh Barnett fight that was supposed to happen in Infliction. I'd love to see that. Granted, Josh Barnett would probably win, but because he's fat and doughy. So, Sergey Kharitonov, that would be an awesome fight. I would love to see that fight, but I think Kharitonov's going to beat Barnett. So, let him face one of the losers from that fight. Hell, let him face Werdum again. There you go. That would be a fight that you can motivate. Fedor would be motivated for. People would want to see it. There you go. All right. The matchmaker, the Cody, has spoken. Goodbye. Okay, after my 14-minute rant, I don't really know how I'm going to squeeze all this into 2 parts, but we'll just go. So I'm going to do what I think will be short, and that will be the Cody's MMA question of the week. All right. So everyone that saw part 2, down there, disregard that question. You know, sorry. We're on to next week now, my bad. So now we're going to talk about this one. So, alright. The Cody's MMA question of this week is, in exactly 1 year from now, August 2nd, 2012, who do you think will be the UFC champions? Give me your featherweight champion, bantamweight champion, lightweight champion, welterweight champion, middleweight champion, light heavyweight champion, heavyweight champion. Yeah, you get the concept. Give me your champion. Who will be the champions in 1 year from now? Okay, and tell it to me at theCody18 on Twitter, Facebook.com/thesportscody. If you have checked out my written blog of the MMA show where I also talk about the NFL, you could comment down there on, you know, on my blog. I talked about the future of Alistair Overeem, and if you're into NFL, talked about the return of it. You know, so go to www.thecodysays.blogspot.com. Check that out. Twitter, Facebook, my blog. Tell me, let me know, comment section below, and I will talk about it on next week's show just like I did last week, but I wasn't able to upload it. I guess the camera don't like y'all. I don't know. I'm sorry. I like y'all. I love it. Y'all my fans. Y'all my fans. All 4 of you. You know, just saying. So, anyway, yeah. So, here, I'll give you mine. Alright, I was going to wait till next week to give you mine, but I'll give you mine real fast. Okay. Featherweight champion, wait, bantamweight champion, that's a lower weight. I always get them mixed up. Okay, bantamweight champion, I honestly think, maybe it's a little bias, a tiny bias, but I'm going to say no. I think Uriah Faber will get back to that title, and I think he can beat Dominic Cruz. I think he can figure Cruz's style out. You know, the dancing pony. You know, so I think I think he'll be a champion in a year. I think they'll fight again. He'll probably beat Brian Bowles. You know, Brian Bowles is scary, but I think he can beat him. So I like Faber and Cruz 3, and I think Faber would take that fight. There's your bantamweight champion. Featherweight champion, probably still Jose Aldo. I'm still upset about the Jose thing. Why don't you just keep that to Josie and the Pussycats? See, I just thought of it right there. Sorry. But Jose Aldo probably will still be the featherweight champion. You know, everyone's saying Kenny Florian's going to be his toughest competitor. In my opinion, Chad Mendez is going to be his toughest competitor. But I think he can beat both Florian and Mendez, and he'll still be the champion in 1 year's time. Lightweight champion, this will probably be my most shocking revelation of this entire thing. I honestly believe right here that Melvin Gillard will be the lightweight champion in 1 year's time. I think he's going to blow through Lozon, and I think he can beat Henderson or Miller. So Henderson will be a little scary. I do think he can beat Jim Miller. I don't know why. See, that confuses me. I think Jim Miller will beat Ben Henderson, but I think Ben Henderson will be a little tough for Melvin Gillard to beat. However, I think Gillard will get there. I think Gillard, he's mentally ready. He's focused. I think Melvin Gillard will be the lightweight champion. Everyone's going to disagree. Everyone's like, Edgar, Maynard, Ben Henderson, Pettis, Gillard. The Cody said it. You heard it from me. Cody said it. All right. Welterweight champion. I want to say Nick Diaz so bad, you know. But here's why. Okay, let me just say. Okay, I'm just gonna give my opinion. Nick Diaz. Okay, but this is why. Say he loses to Georges St. Pierre when they fight. Okay. George St. Pierre will have no one else to fight. He'll go up to 185, and then the division is just left without a champion. And I do not see anyone, maybe John Fitch, probably the only guy I could see beating Nick Diaz. Not Koscheck, not who the fuck else? Not Alves, not Story, not Brenneman, not Johnson, not Shields, but I don't think they'd ever fight anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to say Nick Diaz, just right there. Okay, middleweight, probably still Anderson Silva. I expect him to get by Okami and whoever else. Brian Stanton will probably get to him pretty soon. Mark Munoz will probably get to him pretty soon. I see him beating either one of them. So Anderson Silva probably still light heavyweight champion. God, I hate to say it. John Jones still. He'll probably beat my boy Rampage. And even though I'm going to pick Rampage in that fight because, you know, I don't get off the bandwagon. My favorite fighter ever. I'm just going to pick Rampage to win, but he probably won't. So, John Jones. And heavyweight, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I said it because Cain Velasquez is a faggot. He ain't going to win shit. Junior Dos Santos will beat him, and then Brock Lesnar will beat Dos Santos. And then there you go. Okay, Brock Lesnar. Okay, tell me, Twitter, Facebook, blog, tell me. Comment section below. Tell me.